Welcome to our channel. It's good to be back after a long while,
Well,
and we are here with a very special video because of the film we have just watched, and it's only fitting that we talk on this movie because the very first upload on our channel was about the prequel of this movie. Sorry about that. And now that we have finally, I watched Dune 2 because the uh, we are so late because of me only because I haven't watched the movie till now, so it's not his fault. So let's start.
so yeah, first of all, I like to apologize for being away for a long time, and yeah, that was just circumstances catching up to us. Like, yeah, let's not talk about it.
Mm.
And yeah, obviously we had to make this video. Come on, like first video was like of Dune, which we
Mm.
dropped. Uh, Actually, we tried to put it up on our anniversary too. It's a 1 year anniversary for us, but we kind of
Mm.
even messed it up. So yeah, that's a L
Uh,
for us. No, but yeah,
yeah.
we are here, we are making this, so that's just like hope for good here from. And me, my experience was like I watched it in theaters. He didn't.
I
Yeah,
watched it
and
online.
maybe that was the reason. Like both of our opinions are so different. So yeah, for just like me, I'm a Dune fanboy. If you have seen the first video, you know that, and like just I had out of the world experience watching this movie in the theaters. By the way.
Yeah, so I'll try to explain why the experience was so bad for me actually. So we have a very conflicting viewpoint on this. So I'll try to justify it, but first here we must hear what he has to say because I already know that universally this film has gained positive reviews. Like,
Okay.
like no one has ever made a bad review about it. So I'm feeling a bit nervous to say about my experience. But I'll be honest. I'll say the truth and let's see what happens.
Like yeah,
But
he's gonna share his experience and I'm gonna share my
uh,
me. To be honest, I have not seen or felt anything that amazing. It was spectacular watching and experiencing it in the cinema. It's like it completely justifies cinemas being just existing, cinemas existing, just that amazing like picture quality, that amazing sound systems, that the experience that you're getting, like it completely justifies like spending so much money on those and like making cinemas. Like if you're watching something else, I'm just gonna say this, if you're watching something else, you're experiencing like if you're not watching anything of this caliber, you're getting a subpar experience in the cinema theaters. Like it's not even
mm,
worth it to watch anything else. Like I don't know like how he did it, but Denis Villeneuve is like he used every single thing he had: cinematography, acting, directing, like CGI, score, sound effect. He used everything and he made a piece of art. It's not a cinema; it's a piece of art. It's like every single frame was so good. I thought like where like did they create a 50,000K camera or something? How can anything look so clear? It was
uh,
so amazing. And not that I was watching it in IMAX or something. I just watched it in Dolby Atmos, like our theaters which I have. It's not that amazing, but still, that was the experience I had.
let's talk about my experience now. What happened? So I watched it on a stream. Okay, so yeah, and I gotta tell you, the CG. First of all, the CG looked too artificial for me, and I also I already talked about this with two other guys, including him, and even they confirmed that the digital print of the movie is a bit weird, and it's not at all same with the on par with the theatric, theatrical
Experience.
theatrical release,
Yeah,
right?
theoretical experience I would say, because maybe I was way too into the like experience, or like the way I was feeling. Maybe I was like too out of it, like too high on like cinema to actually notice the CGI. But like to me, like nothing seemed out of place. For me, just being there, sitting there, everything was a perfect blend. Every single thing like a perfect blend. Like most of the time when I'm watching cinema or movie or something, anything, and even in theaters or screen or anything, if a CG comes, like I can tell like, it's a good CG. Oh, it's a nice CG. Like they did it amazing. They composited it nice and good and stuff. But here I didn't care. I didn't care for CG or not. I completely was like into it. I completely like believe it. I was one with the movie. I think. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite for me. Like every CG that occurred in the movie, like it felt too artificial for me. I could tell it's CG, and I think it was filmed on a different frame rate. It seemed because the CG was a bit laggy, and the live scenes were too they weren't matching at all. I don't know what was the point. What was the factor behind it? Was it the digital print because of which this was happening? But even they confirmed that the digital print, the CG looked a bit weird
Yeah.
and
Like
a bit too. I don't know how to explain it to you, but it was a bit weird.
like
You could tell
like
it's CG.
yeah, it was bothering. You could like, if you're seeing like, it was catching in your eyes, if like I'm making sense or not. Like, yeah, you could tell that's the CG. You could tell like something is different, something is off, something is something. Like, yeah, you could tell that, but like not that didn't happen when I was in theaters.
Yeah,
Also, the biggest like see okay, I could understand him like talking about like how it looked, because like maybe I was too into it to notice that. Maybe I was like too high something, maybe, to like notice the CG and stuff, so I can let that pass. But when he said like the score was also bad, the sound effects.
yeah. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Nah,
Yeah.
but he did notice like there was a point, because when he was watching, I was watching with him.
Hmm.
So there was a point like he was saying like, "Whoa, what is this? What is that sound? What is that sound?" And to be honest, like, yeah, watching with him, I also felt that it was weird. But in cinemas, that was literal goosebump. Every single second was goosebumps.
Yeah, I can. I think I know at which point I pointed that out, and the those firing things from the helicopters or
Yeah,
those
yeah,
choppers, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Dragon copters.
yeah. When I was watching the movie, those firing effects, it's not a spoiler or anything, but just hear me out. Those firing effects were too out of place. I don't know how, but they were too out of place when I heard it. And even he can agree on that.
Yeah,
But
even though
his experience in the theaters he's telling me it was just too jaw dropping to watch, right?
I mean, like, I'm literally telling you that movie put me in a high. It drugged me out or something. So
Um,
yeah, maybe because like I like both of us like would say like we got a fairly good like headphones and stuff, but yeah, I think no headphones could do justice. Maybe your home
yeah,
theater could, maybe. I'm not saying if you got a good home theater and watching on a like 4K screen or something like 40 to 50 inches or something, maybe you could do justice to that. But like no single screen or like digitally, if you're watching it digitally, like no. This is the movie that you'll regret in your life. You're watching 20
yeah,
years later or 30 years later. You'll fucking regret. Sorry for cursing that you didn't watch it in cinemas. I'm pretty sure he does that too or does not. I don't care.
yeah.
But like, yeah, I am absolutely happy and amazing, ecstatic that I watched into the cinemas. That I get to
Um,
experience that.
maybe Blu-ray experience would have been much better, but we watched it in 4K with HDR, but still
Yeah, maybe
it
it was
was
the
subpar. Uh,
weird compression that they did on the streaming services. Maybe I don't know.
uh, maybe it will be better in Blu-ray, but I don't know. So enough about that. Let's move to the actors. All right. So I have this. There's this another negative point from me. I'm really a bit nervous when I say this because I haven't talked anything good about this movie till now. So I think the acting throughout the movie was actually, it was fine. It was okay. There's nothing to out there, nothing to what you can pinpoint that it's wrong. There was nothing like that, except one. I don't think Zendaya should have been in this movie, because either that or she should have been swapped with the another actor, Florence Pugh, for this character.
Bro.
I strongly believe that, and I I don't know if
Okay, I'm just gonna say
uh,
something. For me,
yeah,
Florence Pugh was amazing. No matter what small role she had, but she looked amazing. I don't know. It's just me.
but yeah, why I um wait, man, कैसे okay, let me justify my position, because why I said the thing I said, because the character of Florence Pugh, her her character was very one dimensional. She didn't have much to do actually.
Yeah,
Throughout the film, it was mostly
it was
poker face, right?
basically what was Zendaya's role in the first movie. It was kind of like that.
Yeah. So, but for the Zendaya's character Chani, she had a lot to do. She had
Yeah,
to like put forth a lot of emotions, which she failed miserably, I would say.
yeah. So
I mean,
the
yeah,
like I think the biggest point of the movie was like yeah, Timothy Chalamet and like Zendaya's relationship, like going forward, and like him becoming a friend and him like connecting to everything, and like yeah.
mm,
So the like I think like it was all like laid the ground on the first movie only. Like how Zendaya would help him like to become, you know, the part of like his civilization or community or whatever, and like yeah. So to me, maybe like story and like everything, I was every single second like I was into it. I was way too immersed. So maybe yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I don't like romance. Okay, maybe because I've not seen a perfect romance or like good romance or something. But like, yeah, I did kind of understand what is happening, and like, yeah, I would like, yeah, but it was still like, should I? But I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. For me, if like we're talking about acting perspective, I just loved one single guy. That's still guy. I just
that
absolutely
guy, yeah, 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 yeah,
He's so entire, his like entire life's meaning is just to say, listen, Algai.
yeah. That even I would say he was the best performer of the movie. I would say that
Yeah, no doubt.
better than Timothy Samlet.
No
Yeah.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Because
Mm.
the way he portrayed that, and like to be, yeah, because we have all seen him in a very different roles over the years. So like yeah, still him being able to portray that, him being able to get into it, like yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. I don't know how
Yeah,
he
one.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know how he did that. I just like, yeah, it was brilliant.
yeah, because the language they spoke, the Fremen language, it's a fictional language, right?
Yeah,
It's not a real language, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's
matlab,
basically
to
like Klingon and stuff. Like, like nowadays, like yeah, from movies and stuff, they learn into real life also. So it could be like that, but I don't know. I don't just like I'm just making a point. That's all.
yeah, so to speak a fictional language and still convey that emotion, that conviction, that requires a how do I put it? That requires a very good actor to pull that off.
Yeah,
And you could say that he's a native speaker of that language, but yeah, as I'm saying that it's a fictional language, so he really felt that he was a native speaker, and it was his like first or second language. So I think I already told that he's my top performer of this movie.
yeah,
I think we can agree on that.
yeah, 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 no doubt,
And
no
I
doubt.
thoroughly enjoyed his performance actually.
every that was, I think, the high point of movie. When every time he comes in the like frame,
Yeah,
one time he will always scream, "Listen, Al guy."
yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know if it was intentional or not, but I found it sometimes I found it really funny, and that was the only thing that was helping me go through the movie actually.
yeah. I just loved him when Timothy Chalamet was being modest and humble. He just said like, "Listen, Al guy."
Yeah, that,
Will not say
yeah,
listen I'll give, he will be humble, therefore he is listen I'll give. That
yeah,
rationalization, I mean, oh my god.
yeah, and that convincing power, even he convinced everyone. Yeah, what he's saying is the actual truth. Yeah,
Like it's like
actually,
it was his, like his life is depending upon it, like
uh,
him being listen I'll give him be. first of
yeah,
all
actually,
first of
uh,
all the thing is, Timothy Chalamet has so many names, it's like, I don't know,
it
from Paul,
sometimes it gets confusing.
yeah,
Yes,
Paul Atreides to like kya tha, Muad'Dib to
usul.
Usul, listen Al
Yeah,
Gaib, then Mahdi.
yeah,
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, come on, seriously.
yeah. Sometimes when someone's addressing you with their different names, like I'm like it takes time to process that. Okay, this is not some other character. He's talking about Timothy Samlet. So yeah,
To be honest,
but
like, first of all, I just like, before we go any further, story was actually amazing. Okay, story was, for me, like, it picked up really like where it left off, because last movie, and I think we both agreed on that. Like it felt a
it
bit
was a bit
stretched.
stretched.
Yeah,
Mm.
it will, like, if like, for someone who was not into Dune, who didn't know anything about Dune, who would watch the first time like Dune, just like might felt bored, but like coming from the first movie here, it picked up and it went like going up and going up. I think that's how I felt, because like every single second I was into it, I was immersed, I was completely, there was not even a single point where that immersion broke. I think for me that are like just like one aspect after another aspect, from like going from Florence Pugh to like, yeah, Baron, then going to their, yeah, home planet, like seeing the scene with the Leah Seydoux and stuff, like, yeah, nothing, everything was perfect for me. And because maybe, yeah, that's the point of being like, there was amazing direction behind it, so yeah.
Mhm. I think I would agree to that 100% because this is almost a 3 hour movie, right?
Yeah, I think,
2 hour 45 or
yeah,
two something, almost a 3 hour movie, and I didn't feel like it was dragging anywhere, any bit of the movie, because as we have mentioned earlier, the first movie, I like you could have cut at least 30-40 minutes from that
yeah, from
movie,
last, yeah, yep, no doubt.
and it would have not made much difference. But here I would say like it was actually quite well paced, and I didn't feel like any like even one bit was dragging. So I would say, yeah, I completely agree that the story was actually quite well paced here.
Yeah, and
And
so
what else?
yeah, next.
I want another thing I want to talk about is like we have mentioned the soundtrack earlier in the previous video of Dune 1, like how extensively it was used. And I would say the lack of soundtrack here, I mean, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Like every time it played, it was very intentional and it was very like to the point. Like how do I put it? Uh, like it was very intentional. Yeah, he didn't waste any. He didn't. There was no background music if it didn't require any. So you get my point, right?
Yeah,
So
just
I
me
think the
saying
lack of
that.
soundtrack
Yeah, that's the
plus
point I
point
made.
here.
Like, Denis Villeneuve, he used every single asset he had, and he uses perfectly. He just used perfectly, and like somewhere it's just like a subtle hints of like score and sound effects. Then somewhere there's nothing. Like the final fight scene, there was no score.
Uh,
If you guys noticed it or not, there was no
mm,
score. Just like them fighting, and that's all. It was completely silence, and like I love that. I literally because the entire movie was like thump thump, boom, but coming from that it's like just fighting and fisting, and it was amazing. So them choosing
Um,
to do that was amazing, just amazing.
just as I told earlier, like it really worked out for this movie as it did for the earlier one. Like I think we already know he's a great director, and he really showed how he can even do this. Like the lack of soundtrack, he can really put good use of it.
What do you thought about the Faith Rathwa, the villain, his nephew, Baron's
Um,
nephew, now Baron?
if the depiction in the movie of that character accurate, uh, is actually accurate to the book, then I'll say it's all right. But it really reminded me of those silver soldiers from Mad Max. You,
Oh,
you get,
ah,
yeah, right.
yes.
So I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but it reminded me of that. And okay, his introduction, that black and white sequence when the sun gets blocked and everything is black and white.
Yeah.
That fight scene, that cathedral
I know,
one.
I know, yeah, I know, I know.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
introduction to the world or to us or whatever. It was his
yeah.
birthday. It was his birthday. It was his birthday.
Uh, so I think that was the most striking scene for me, because in the same scene, in the same sequence, I felt like it was the best part of the movie and maybe the worst part. Both, I don't know how, but yeah, I like the character, and I also like the introduction, as I
Uh,
said.
and to be honest, I actually loved how he played, how he acted, and like I think it was good. Though he was portraying a sociopath, a psychopath, and I think he did a good job. I think. Plus the scene he
Mm,
talked about, the entire thing got black and white. That also looked so good, amazing.
mm,
Because the whole thing, most of the point was everything was in wide angle most of the time,
mm.
to just like experience, just like show you the scale of everything. I think it was because of that everything was wide scale and wide angle, and like crowd and the actual stadium and stuff like it was amazing.
Actually, the only thing that you mentioned, the crowd simulation, if you had watched it on stream, like that was the most fake crowd simulation I've ever seen. Like it looked straight out of Bahubali. I swear.
Oh yeah, that's what
That
I
was
said.
that
I
was
think that's what I said. But I didn't feel that watching on like theaters. I actually watched with him on stream because I wanted to see his reaction on. I thought like he would say how good it is and how it's like, but like when I watched it, it was like ऐसा तो नहीं था भाई. It was not like this, bro. But,
yeah.
how did this happen? Like, was I?
Actually,
Because
I actually
then we had to call one of my old, very old friend, and like he also like I think like the movie
even
and
he
stuff. Yeah.
confirmed.
So yeah, because my opinion was just rendered speechless at that point because like how could I say it was so good because we were saying it was so bad. Then he just came like, no man, in cinema it was amazing. He said.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
um, even he confirmed that on stream it was what it was. Yeah,
the the entire movie was just character development for Paul Atreides, Timothy
Timothy.
Chalamet.
Um,
Yeah, he wanted to learn the Fremen ways and to become one of them to fight with them, but like Stilga and like Rebecca Ferguson was like no, they were out. They were said like no, he is the Mahdi and he needs to lead. He needs to be the Lisan Al Gaib. It was not his like wish, I think, for Paul Atreides.
mm,
He didn't want it,
yeah.
and I'm pretty sure Zendaya also didn't want that. And yeah, they,
Even nobody cares what Zendaya wants.
because
Actually,
like both of them feared of what he would become.
Mm.
And I mean,
There was
that,
signs of it. He didn't go full on what listener guy, but
yeah, but
in this movie there was just signs of those of that.
when he actually did like the transition of him drinking the water of life or something, whatever the One Piece or whatever the blue liquid, and after that, the whole thing when he like confronts everybody and says like, "Yeah, I am your leader. I am like better than you." It was like so like unlike him. So I don't know. The entire thing felt overwhelming and underwhelming for me at the same time. I don't know why. I don't know.
Uh,
Just like him
as I
confronting one single person and it's like his darkest fear and his that is that's let out in front of everyone, he just like bows down and like chants listen I'll give, everybody just bows down and like yeah.
yeah, as I told you, but I don't think he completely turned into that. There were signs of it, but I don't think he fully committed to it.
Wait, that's the thing I kind of didn't understand. Like, did he actually change after like drinking the water
Was
of
he
life or
playing
something,
along?
or just like he got the perspective, he got the like insights with like him kind of seeing the with all those answers. That's what the thing. That's what they say that you could see, like drinking that water of life. From that, you could like see all those ancestors and gain the sight. Even that Jamis fellow, like you need to see
Uh,
to decide or something like that. The guy who died, the guy who
on the earlier,
in
yeah.
first movie who Paul
Mm,
kills. So
mm.
yeah, I mean, so what Zendaya was afraid and what Paul was afraid kind of came true. And the one of the best, best part of the movie I felt when like Zendaya got chutiya. Sorry for saying those words, but yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, but
Paul was I'm spoiling it. Okay. Paul was like, yeah, I'll love you till my last breath, and just in the next scene, he's like asking for proposing to Florence Pugh. I was like, yeah, I can understand, bro. I can
yeah,
understand. I'll feel you, bro.
that too publicly, that too publicly. But yeah, for this scene, Zendaya had to do a lot of. I mean, that this scene shows that she is not a good actor, in my opinion.
Yeah, she
I
had to
mean,
show emotions, maybe disgust, maybe anger, and maybe stuff, but it was
it's
funny.
missed
Just
something, but
looking at her felt funny to me.
uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know what face she pulled out, but that wasn't it. That was I didn't feel for her. That was the point. I didn't feel for her one bit. I don't know it was intentional or not, but I kind of found it funny that she got dumped on and like, she's like standing there like a crying baby and no one's
Yeah.
no one's giving her attention. I don't know. But
And like Florence Pugh is like, yeah, obviously bow down before my beauty, bro. I'm just kidding.
uh,
So like yeah, I
uh,
like that and follow this and the fight that followed was also one of the best part because of how the experience was. Like I said, like the score goes out, it's just them fighting and all. So yeah, I kind of like that.
I uh, this final fight was fine. I didn't find anything very unique about it. Unique about it. I've seen better, but it was fine. I would say.
Yeah. No, just like it was kind of unique for me. Just like those everything just cutting out the sound, noise, like score and sound effects and stuff. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
At least both the actors did their stunts on their own, so that was a good point,
Yeah.
the plus point.
Yeah, it was. Wait, the fight scene was not at all like what do you say? Very impressive. Just if you talking about the actual fighting and stuff. But yeah, just like the entire sequence was that. I don't know. I don't know. The one thing I'm gonna say now for about the story, it just kept me engaged throughout the movie.
Yeah, I think the story was the the strongest point of the movie for
Strongest
me.
point of the movie was visuals and the sound, but he could not have experienced that, so he cannot say that.
Uh, uh, just because of uh, the the experience I had, this I wouldn't say so. Okay, we should wrap it up, right?
Yeah, it's
Like
already 56
close it.
minutes or something.
Okay, so I'll I'll, I'll say my closing remarks and then you can continue. Uh, so I would say that for me personally, I missed I missed it on the theaters. Uh, yeah, that's a big blunder from my part, and I regret that. But watching it on what I experienced and from what I uh, felt after watching the movie is that I didn't find this to be a better movie than Dune One. I think the quality is same. If you watch the first movie, I think you would like this too. But I don't know. I don't think this is a better movie than Dune One.
Yeah. So me, me personally, I think this is the best thing that I ever seen. The cinematic experience and the stuff, like, it's amazing. It's just amazing. I think like he I think Denis Villeneuve is a genius and everybody should worship him. That's what I think. The, the output he gave, the caliber of which this movie is, nothing ever even comes close. The entire experience, just like, forget about entertainment and stuff, just like experiencing that, it was amazing. It was just truly amazing. So yeah.
Yeah.
W- the-
Maybe I'll watch this later, and maybe down the line after 2 3 years, maybe I'll like it even more.
Maybe,
I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
I don't know, maybe like getting a Blu-ray or something like that and watching on the home theaters or maybe screen. Or maybe somewhere, someday, somebody would screen this in a theater. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe.
Because this has happened to me earlier as well with one of another Denis Villeneuve movie. Uh, I I watched Blade Runner when it came out. I don't know. It was 2016 or I don't remember exactly. But I didn't like that movie. I didn't like that movie when I first watched it. But recently, like maybe a year back, I watched it again. And I and that movie, like, it hit so hard, man. Like I felt like I haven't watched anything better than that. Like it just felt very very, I don't know, it felt a bit different, and I
Blade
really
Runner,
like
you're
that
talking
movie.
about the one with Ana de Armas, right?
Yeah, 2049, that one.
Yeah, I've seen that
20,
too.
2049, yes.
I've seen that too. Just like, I have not completed it or something. Just like, again, and just knowing that it's a Denis Villeneuve movie and the visual, the cinematography, everything was just amazing. I have not
Yeah.
completely watched or completed that movie or something. I don't even remember, but there are a few scenes I remember, and like the cinematography was amazing. I don't even know what the story is or anything. Just like, yeah, but just, yeah. So I think he likes to deliver perfection, Denis Villeneuve.
Mm.
So I don't know. I have
There's a certain, yeah, I was just saying that there's a certain quality to his movie. Even the movies before that, like Prisoners and Sicario, like those are like really good movies. So maybe down the line I'll watch it and I'll like this movie even more. But for now, it is what it is.
yeah, like, this movie is kind of a benchmark what movies should strive to be. I think what experience they
Mm.
should give, and like, yeah, again, for me, it's like if you're watching something else, you're getting a subpar experience in the theaters. If you're not watching movie of this caliber, that's it. That's it. Just contrasting opinions from Godzilla X Kong and like this is, yeah.
Yeah, even the contrasting opinions between us. So yeah, let's put it
Maybe it is
like that
because
on.
like he didn't mean it to be consumed on like screens and stuff. Like he wanted to be. consumed on like the best thing possible. It's IMAX, it's the theaters, and maybe it is like optimized for that. It's just me.
Mm. It must be. It must be. Yeah.
It's just me trying to make sense of his reactions, his opinions, and stuff because I
No,
can't.
because it wasn't. Uh, I'm not just hating for the sake of it, right? I told you to see it right with me, and even you can confirm it. Like there was something
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the.
yeah. In digital print, it looked kind of weird too. Even like
Yeah,
hearing all of those stuff and like sound scores things, yeah, it kind of felt off, but I don't know. I just don't know why.
yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
see you guys.
yeah, yeah. See you. Bye bye.